Hey all, here are OS Reviews, sharing an interesting story. About 2 years ago, I was on vacation and I forgot to bring my charger with me. So when I reached my destination, my phone, my laptop was all running out of power, and luckily at the time all of those devices were already charged using just Type-C. So I needed to find a Type-C cable, and I picked up the first one I saw, and it was from this company called Baseus. It only cost around $2, so it was really cheap, and surprisingly just for a very basic cable, which by the way I still have, it still works great. But what really impressed me was for the low cost, it actually came with additional accessories and packaging that just seemed slightly better put together than I expected, including all of these custom stickers. So even though it was something as simple as a USB cable, which of course I didn't really think warranted a separate video on, the company did leave a pretty good impression in my mind. So I was excited when I finally got the chance to pick up one of their other products in the form of a pair of TWS True Wireless Buds. And just like their charging cable, they are still going after an affordable price. So this actually sells for around $30. There's a couple of interesting features at this low price, including support for Qi wireless charging, but also MagSafe charging. So if you pop it onto a magnetic charger, it will just stick itself into place, which is pretty neat. Has IPX8 for waterproofing, so you can use it in the rain. It should still survive. And again, this company is more typically known for chargers, so the battery tech on the W11 is also decent. 10 minutes of charging in the case will get you up to 4 hours of continuous listening when you pop them out. And they also use 10mm dynamic drivers, which are slightly larger than average. Still, it's worth mentioning that again, for basic buds, they are supporting just the standard audio codecs via Bluetooth 5.0, such as SBC and AAC. You won't find Qualcomm's aptX or LDAC, for instance. However, these do have a low latency gaming mode, which you can also turn on using the companion app. In the box, aside from the wireless buds themselves, we also get a few accessories, including just a standard USB Type-C charging cable if you don't want to use wireless charging, branded by them, and we also get spare silicone tips. The case of the W11 is fairly compact, made of the typical polycarbonate plastic, and it's similar overall to something like Redmi's AirDots. So these are by no means bulky cases. You can easily tuck it into a pocket when you're traveling or on the go, but it also means that the overall size of the milliamp hours of the case is not the largest in the world. In fact, combined, you get a total of around 15 to 20 hours with the case before you need to top it up again. But again, it does charge up very quickly, so that is one bonus, although again, the capacity by itself could maybe be slightly enlarged. There's a Type-C port on the rear, which is accented in orange, a reset button, and also on the base here, support for that Qi wireless magnetic charging. So you can pop it onto any standard wireless charging mat and it can top itself back up, or on any magnetic surface, you can see that I can kind of tilt it around and it's not going to fall loose because it's kind of sucked itself into place. And here's a quick demo of that wireless charging in action. Pop it on there. The design of the battery case is quite simple, but the buds themselves are magnetic. They're easy to pop in and pop out, and we do have a touch-sensitive area that you can use to double tap to play and pause music, although one slight con is at the moment you aren't able to raise the volume higher or lower directly on them. You can remap some of the controls using the companion app, but we'll touch on that a little bit more later in this video. Kind of a fusion of something like the AirPod Pros, but also coated in rubber, so they are quite snug when you pop them in. They're lightweight. Overall, they're slim and pretty comfortable to wear. The companion app, which is just called Baseus, available both for iOS and Android, is very basic. After connecting, you're able to see the battery percentage remaining on the left and the right sides, and if you've lost a particular side, you can also tap on call. So here, just getting louder and louder there until you've tapped on found. It's not going to be, of course, as loud as a regular Bluetooth speaker, but still is a nice little software trick. And you can also tap on gesture setting. That's how you can remap some of the touch controls. So by default, there is a double tap that, as aforementioned, is right now going to play and pause out of the box. And then there's a long press to skip tracks. Currently, those settings that you can change between are limited to play, pause, skip track, voice assistant, and that's it. So again, I do wish that they can add maybe another option for raising the volume higher and lower, although the good news is that would be as simple as a software update to their companion app. Finally, under Locate, it will open up Google Maps and tell you your relative location, but that's using your phone's GPS. So if you have that turned on, it will then approximate when you were last connected where you were using them. So it is a very simple app. You don't get any equalizer controls or ways to further tweak the sound on them, but really it's just for locating the buds using either sound or that map function, as well as remapping some of the controls. Moving into audio quality and performance, I have to say I was actually pretty impressed for the sound that you get out of these, considering they are $30 buds at the end of the day, so they are going to be competitive with the aforementioned Redmi's, Halo, as well as Soundcore buds that are on the market. And overall, I would say they do a better job than you would think for the low price in terms of they are very clear, so they don't have any hissing or distortion in the background aside from the music, which is good. Overall, it offers a pretty dynamic mix when it comes to bass. There's definitely a punch in that lower frequency, so if you're listening to EDM music or anything with a drum beat, it actually sounds pretty satisfying, and it's not too overpowering or overly strong either, so it still is controlled, and you're able to still enjoy the other instrumentals as well as vocals. Ultimately, they may not be audiophile or hi-fi grade necessarily, but they definitely are clear and overall very satisfying to listen to casual music with, especially when working out, when walking around. Punches above its weight in terms of sound and stability, I'd say, for a pair of budget buds like these. Although keep in mind that, again, these don't have any additional features like active noise cancellation. Speaking of connectivity, again, they do have that dedicated low latency mode, and you're definitely able to still play things back, enjoy it, watch back videos on YouTube or Netflix, and things are relatively in sync. It doesn't become too annoying or anything like that. Pretty stable in terms of connection without getting dropped. So if all you're looking for is a basic pair of buds but offers a simple, easy to use design, something with also fast charging and wireless charging support, this might be a interesting option to consider. And again, from a company that I do feel like, from my experience with their products so far at least, they have a pretty good reputation in terms of the quality of their products holding up. We'll also be giving away 5 Baseus W11 True Wireless Buds. So if you're interested in taking part of that giveaway, be sure to leave a like, and I'll share some additional instructions in the description box below where you can enter. We'll be picking those 5 winners randomly. So you can check out more details if you're interested. For now, that's been our video. Thanks for watching here at OS Reviews. That's been the Baseus W11